Hello and welcome to BrookesTV. I'm Joel Langham.
And I'm Amy Brown. Coming up in this week's episode...
Continuing strike action sees lectures cancelled at Brookes.
Students really stressed by battling it out Squid Game style.
And a ladies' darts league needs new players to step up to the occasion.
Lecturers at Oxford Brookes University have been on strike in a row over pensions. Siphelele Mamba has more.
Faculty members of Oxford Brookes University commenced the first phase of planned strike action on the 7th of February. After a failed ballot in November 2021, UCU reballoted its Brookes members and were able to reach the required 50% to strike. When asked about their demands, striking staff members had this to say.
We're striking about pay and conditions, so we've had a real terms pay cut since 2009, 2010 of around 20%. So inflation's gone up, but our pay hasn't kept up with inflation. So in fact, it's a real terms pay cut. We're also striking about casualisation, so lots more staff on casual contracts. That's problematic because, for example, when you go for a mortgage or a loan, banks often won't lend to you if you've got a short-term contract, or you don't know where your hours are going to come from to earn money. So
we're striking because we are overworked, we're underpaid, we're subject to increasing casualisations of our contracts. So more and more university teachers have short-term contracts, so they have no job security. So they're not able to concentrate properly on doing the job of providing students with the learning experience that they deserve.
There's also discrimination, a gender pay gap. Ethnic groups, disability, people with disabilities are also indiscriminately got lower pay than other folks that are in those groups. So,
Vice-Chancellor Alistair Fitt said that although he's disappointed to see the strike action go ahead because of the disruption to teaching, the university respects the decision of the staff members and will continue to engage with UCU to understand members' concerns.
Plans to strike continue on into next week, and although there has been resistance, the strikers remain hopeful in their cause. Siphelele Mamba, BrookesTV.
From the Lecturers' Union to the Students' Union, as it's election time again.
Our reporter Tom Benson has been speaking to students ahead of votes being cast.
It's an important week for the Students' Union at Oxford Brookes University, where the student election has entered its final days of voting. Stands like these have been a common sight around campus, as any who can vote are encouraged to do so. There are 16 positions up for grabs. Some, like the Postgraduate Students Officer, support mature students, whilst positions like Trans Students Officer represent the views and interests of trans students at Brookes. Whilst crumpled election leaflets thrown to the side might suggest a lack of interest, we spoke to some of the volunteers about why these elections are important.
I think because it's really important what the student body or the offices are around. Like me being a part of the society, I run a society along with my friends. So it's really important what kind of support we are getting, or how is it going, or what they think ahead for the societies and everything going on.
Even as not as a students, when we think as our citizens, we all should have right to vote, and we should vote every elections, because we are going to face everything after that.
It's been a long 6 weeks of campaigning for the candidates, all to be over soon. We spoke to candidate Saskia Clubb about her experiences and got her thoughts on why these elections need to happen.
The whole point of the roles is that they are elected by the student body and they represent the student body. Students come to us kind of every day giving us their opinions, and we then take it higher up. We take it to university, we see what we can change about things. And
some candidates like Saskia are running unopposed, but she explains why even so students should still go out and vote.
There is an option to not vote for me. There is an option to reopen nominations. And if people don't think I'd be good at the job, I would rather people were voting for that than being oh, there's no point voting.
When speaking to some of the students here, it's clear that they, of all people, understand the importance of exercising your right to vote. Tom Benson, BrookesTV News.
Strikes and elections can certainly be stressful.
They sure can, but at Brookes there's a fun new way for students to relax. Shanae Malcolm has been finding out.
Students gathered to the gallery hall after class to take part in the Squid Games reenactment activities. This was created to help students forget about their studies and relax. The Korean TV show, now a global sensation, has made its way to Oxford Brookes. he took a few moments to speak with the events coordinator.
Hosting the events actually made a positive impact to the students. A lot of students seemed a little bit stressed and also helped the society to come together. You can tell we already have a sold out game for 30 people, and we actually had a lot more interest. However, due to the capacity of the room, we weren't able to allow that. I would say it's a positive outcome, and it made everyone feel a little bit distressed. Because our society focuses on towards like non-Koreans, because a lot of the people who are non-Koreans actually created the Hallyu wave. I don't know if you know the Hallyu wave. Hallyu wave is actually a wave formed by non-Koreans who are really interested in the Korean culture, the Korean media, and we have many students here who are really interested in the Korean media, and that's why I would say it's a positive effect.
It gives us an opportunity to like communicate with people, and also gives you the opportunity to meet and have fun, take your mind off things.
This has been Sinead Malcolm for BrookesTV.
Moving on, communication has been an important topic during the pandemic.
With 5G being rolled out, Zhongzhou Wang has been looking at how the new network is affecting daily life.
In recent years, the demand of high-speed internet has led to the rapid development of the mobile phone communication market. Under the influence of the COVID-19 pandemic, high-speed, stable networks have become even more of a necessity. With telecommuting, video conferencing, and teaching needs creating a demand for 5G signals, we interviewed random members of the public about their view on existing network and 5G.
You know, the different companies, they have the different merits and weakness. But, you know, the most companies like the Vodafone, the O2, O3, they tend to cover in this kind of rural areas in the United Kingdom. So I think it depends which function that you use. You want data or you want the phone calling signal?
I think it's good, although I think it's probably not great for sort of the transmitting waves and stuff like that, and sort of implementing new electricity towers and stuff. I think that's probably...
According to the Oxford Mail, mobile infrastructure service company Cornerstone wants to replace an existing 4G mast with an upgraded one which can support 5G in Oxfordshire.
I think we've managed to put it up really fast, so it's been great. It's definitely helped a lot of customers. 5G has really grown. It's really fast now. It's coming up into places quicker. We're doing a much better job at it than ever before.
According to a survey by Public Health England, there will be a slight increase in radio wave generated by 5G signal networks, which may have some impact on people's health.
I think it depends where they put this sort of structure and whether it's going to affect people's views and nature. And yeah, I know that there's a lot of conspiracies about sort of it affecting people. People have got headaches from it and stuff like that. But I personally haven't been affected from it, I don't think.
The government has a target for the majority of the UK population to have access to a 5G signal by 2027 and to extend 4G mobile geographical coverage to 95% of the UK by 2025. This is Shenxiao Wang, BrookesTV.
My phone doesn't seem to get any 5G anywhere in Oxford, but anyway, that's it for this half, but still to come.
Bus fares in Oxford are on the rise.
And could you be the next darting superstar?
Welcome back. Times are tough at the moment as the cost of living continues to increase, from high energy bills to the price of petrol.
Bus fares in Oxford have also seen a rise recently. Shadi Ibrahimi has more.
Oxford Smart Zone has announced that fares will be changing from 27th of February 2022. This is the first time that fares have been increased in 2 years. The changes represent the rising costs across the bus industry. On average, the new fare would be 43p more for weekly travel. The bus industry is experiencing significant challenges and rising costs. These challenges include fuel, wages, and inflation, and this was factored into the fares review. Bus drivers have their say.
We're making good money, the company making good money, so I don't see any reason why they need to raise the fare, especially on the student.
It needs to remain within all of the rises and everything else. Fuel costs going up, so the fuel will cost more to run the bus, but as a driver I'm not at liberty to say whether or not. I think it's just matching with everything else. Gas and electric have gone up, taxis cost more, buses cost more, so I can't say yes or no.
This news about increasing the bus fares comes as Oxford Bus Company warned about the service reduction. The company announced that it may have to reduce services by 30% if government funding is not secured. This would include the removal of park and ride services into the centre of Oxford and some city and rural bus services. Funding runs out on 5th of April and the government has not yet confirmed if further support will be provided. The Smart Zone bus companies, comprising of Oxford Bus Company, Stagecoach, Thames Travel and Arriva, also confirmed the fares will increase from the same date. The Oxford Bus Company also announced it will be introducing a new daily cap of £4 per day for customers using its free flow tap-on, tap-off contactless payment system within Oxford City Zone.
In Oxford, buses are a popular method of public transportation. People who are living or working in Oxford use buses more than bicycles or their own cars. Increasing the bus fare would be difficult for most of them. However, good services that buses provide should be considered. Shadi Ibrahimi, BrookesTV.
Happily, the weather wasn't able to dent spirits when Oxford Brookes celebrated LGBTQ+ month recently.
Our reporter Zuzana Wisnerova has been finding out about its importance.
February at the Oxford Brookes University is a month dedicated to the LGBTQ+ community. It is filled with various events, workshops, as well as lectures. In the interview with one of the main organizers of the LGBTQ+ month, Janie Stewart, I asked her a question about the whole event, what it is, and why is it important for Oxford Brookes University to celebrate it.
LGBTQ+ History Month is held in February to coincide with the 2003 abolition of Section 28 of the 1988 Local Government Act. This was a piece of legislation introduced by Margaret Thatcher's Conservative government, stating that local authorities were not allowed to intentionally promote homosexuality or publish material with the intention of promoting homosexuality. This meant that schools were unable to teach about LGBTQ+ identities and relationships, and generations of young LGBTQ+ people had no support and limited understanding of their own identity. LGBTQ+ History Month helps to develop people's understanding of LGBTQ+ identities, which in turn can hopefully help to provide a welcoming environment for LGBTQ+ students, improving their experience and well-being whilst at university.
From a student point of view, I asked one of the current students at the Oxford Brookes University, Maria.
This helps to make them visible and to integrate them into the society. By integrating them and making them visible, I think that helps to stop all kind of bullying and attacks against them. Yeah.
LGBTQ+ month is important for students at the university because it gives them right to express who they are and the ability to have a voice. For Brookes News, Zuzana Wisnerova.
And finally, who's up for a game of darts?
The Abingdon Ladies Darts League is appealing for new players to join their ranks. Adam Flynn has more.
The darts team at the Spread Eagle in Abingdon certainly has no difficulty in finding the winning double. But finding new players is proving tricky for the league they play in, as many teams chose not to return after the pandemic. The Abingdon Ladies Darts League has been a key part of pub life in the town on Thursday nights for almost 50 years. Yet its future could soon be under threat unless some more players join the ranks.
Well, it's the COVID. They're frightened of coming in the pubs and everyone being in there, even though there's a lot of restrictions about. They just are still worried about it, so it's all down to the COVID.
Prior to the pandemic, there were 16 teams playing in the league, but that number has now dropped to 7. While they've got enough teams to keep going at the moment, any more dropping out could mean it's not viable to continue.
It's running all right at the moment with 7 teams, but really we need more. So if we don't get back up and running nicely, I think if any more drop out, or we don't get any more come in, then I think the Abingdon League will close.
The loss of the league would also be a huge blow to Abingdon's pub trade, which has also been hit badly by the pandemic.
Well, the pub itself has been okay, not as busy as it used to be, mainly night times, and that's why pub darts does help with nighttime trade. It brings people in, it makes the pub look busy.
But while numbers have dropped, the current players are very keen to see their league carry on.
What I like about the league is it's a little bit of an escapism for ladies on a Thursday night. And it's so nice, the mix of people to come together and have a giggle and just enjoy a night out with the ladies.
Well, what I enjoy is all the nice people we meet and play with, and the pubs, visiting the different pubs.
New players can get in touch with the league via their Facebook page, and in the eyes of the league, some fresh blood would certainly hit the bullseye. Adam Flynn for BrookesTV.
That's it for this week. Remember, you can keep up to date with all episodes of BrookesTV on our YouTube channel.
Thanks for watching. Goodbye.